The overall facility is 265,000 feet. We're on 18 acres, and we take it all up. Unfortunately, I never thought we started out in a little 4,000 foot place, and we had people piled on top of one another. And so it's been wonderful to have found this facility. Of course, you don't build a company by yourself. I have to say my wife and I worked together for 58 years, and so it was a great partnership. We are around 1,000 employees. Of course, we started out just doing ductwork like everybody else in the world, and we've gotten involved in a lot of things that the average sheet metal shop would never do. And it's really brought a whole different look to our company. We've also branched off into architectural, heavy. I mean, this is a really unusual architectural stuff. We do a lot of specialty in-house work for lobbies and things. If you go through our shop, you'll see metal of every variety and unusual things that most sheet metal shops wouldn't think would be in a sheet metal shop.
We have great resources here, right? We have a whole engineering department, we have an estimating department, we have a whole bunch of project managers, and as you can see, this shop out here, it's great support. So if you can trust the people that are on your support team, you can go out and make promises and commitments to your customers that you believe in, and then you know they're going to come true.
My group handles the mechanical estimating. So in that group, we have 8 full-time estimators and an estimating coordinator. We have 3 dry side estimators and 3 wet side estimators, and we have 1 process estimator and 1 plumbing estimator. At any given time, we are bidding about, I'd say, a dozen projects. We end up producing an estimate a day, sometimes 2 estimates a day. The volume of work is generally around 800 million a year. So that gets divided up into very large projects, a lot of smaller projects, so there's an array of values. So even though we do compile the estimate, even though we are assembling it from our databases, we will estimate our work as a whole. So we have input from all the departments. We check with all the experts in our company, which is vast, and we're able to actually put together a much more comprehensive number we're all comfortable with.
Our engineering team does only design build. We are 100% design build. We are 26. Some are only mechanical, some are only plumbing, some are only process, and some are in between if they choose to do so. Then we have some entry level, mid-level, senior level. We have some more designer than engineer, and more engineers than designers. Again, depending on what they like to do. So it's a good mix of overall. A client would have an idea, and they would meet with us and explain what they want to achieve. And then we would further help give that idea shape or form. I recommend some systems. Is it a fast project, slow project? What are the budget constraints? How critical it is? And each project would have different needs. Then we'll work with the estimating department, Greg Kahn's team, to budget it. And then the project is final, we'll start preparing documents to obtain building permits, work with the architect and rest of the team to coordinate, take the project to permit, and then start the BIM modeling part of it, do all the spatial planning within the building, and then go into production and installation. Then the project doesn't end there though. So we would do job site visit, check back on it, make sure it is still per our plans and ideas.
Therma has allowed me to spread my wings and be creative. And with the mere fact of the capabilities here, we manufacture from signs to cadaver tables to biopharmaceutical process equipment to pressure vessels, you name it, we can do it. We've probably got about 100 guys working in our shop on the floor on the sheet metal side alone, depending on the flow of work. We do a lot of light gauge duct work, a lot of KD knockdown, and then in my department we do a lot of obviously welded duct work and framework, but we also fabricate from light gauge, from say 24, 26 gauge up to 5/8 thick material. We deal with a lot of different unique materials, especially in the weld shop. We do a lot of, we'll work on a lot of exotic materials, which are super duplex stainless steels, Inconels, Hastelloys. A lot of work we've been doing lately has been for Tesla. We've tried to be pretty flexible in what we do.
The client expectations lately are really ones of fast turnaround. They're expecting pricing and even design to occur in a relatively short time frame. So we really try to focus on efficiency to get those deadlines met.
We want to prefab as much as possible. It's absolutely the way to go. It helps, controls our labor costs within our shop. And then when we get to the job site, our time at the job site is greatly reduced. So on our accelerated schedules that we're working on, you have to be planning for prefab.
I've always bought equipment long before the industry was ready for it, and very often got into technologies that weren't perfected completely for what we were trying to use it for. But you know, it always turned out to be a wonderful thing because long haul, first of all, we learned a lot. Second of all the companies we bought equipment from learned something from us. And it made them better and it made us better. And they were always anxious to help us, and they would always bring customers to show off their equipment naturally. And along the way, they had to make it perfect, so it all worked out.
I'm always worried about how much we might lose for the automation. But I think in my experience, we keep getting more and more work to do. We need to keep up. I mean, we're at near full employment here in the Bay Area, and we're stuck with not enough people to come. Automation has to help support it, so I'm all for the automation portion part of it. The technology keeps advancing like crazy, right? So in our shop, just right out the window here, right, you can probably see the laser machine right behind me. So over the years, that software keeps increasing, and you know the cutting speeds are going faster and faster and faster. And as well as that one has automated tray work. So you know sheets of stocks can be loaded overnight. They get cut overnight, and our crew in the morning can come in and help make them work.
We have 3 sheet metal lasers, and we have 2 tube lasers. And the large tube lasers, there's only 2 in the United States currently, so we're pretty fortunate in that regard. So we can cut up to 12-inch I-beam, up to, I do believe, 12-inch pipe, and it's a 6-axis laser. So basically we can cut holes with the countersinks, all kinds of unique patterns, and we can do artwork. We've got 1 CNC press, 2 hydraulic presses, 2 mechanical presses, along with the lasers. We've got plasma coil line, and then we also have seam welders, stitch welders. So basically we're really equipped well. But on average, we probably go between 500,000 to 600,000 pounds of metal per month.
If you go through our shop, you'll see metal of every variety and unusual things that you wouldn't think would be in a sheet metal shop. In fact, all of our major competitors brought us work, complicated things that they didn't feel they wanted to build in their own shop.
We help the smaller companies. You know, a lot of these smaller sheet metal companies within the union don't have the capacity or the capability, so we provide materials to them and deliver on site to their work sites.
Being a sheet metal worker by trade, I have SMACNA books under my desk right now. You know, the industrial book is quite beneficial for any time that we're doing anything on those negative industrial exhaust systems. SMACNA's been a great resource.
When I first started with SMACNA, we were in Santa Clara here, and SMACNA was just 3 contractors. The SMACNA we have is now all of Northern California, which spans a lot more territory than I ever thought we'd ever see. And we've helped the industry grow a lot by helping the apprenticeship schools and so forth a lot. And really it's been shocking to see how good SMACNA has become for us.
The opportunity at Therma really exists because we're so collaborative. We really do have an open interrelationship between our departments, and if you find a department that you actually are more fond of, or if you actually have more interest, there's really no pullback to keep you from going to that department.
It's amazing how much talent some of these people have if you give them the opportunity to use their brain a little bit. I can give them ideas or add to what they've done sometimes, but most of the time I allow them the breadth to do their own thing, and it's been shocking to me the things that have come out of their brain that we've been able to expand and use. I think the one nice thing is that I always felt like we should be having fun because, you know, you spend more of your life at work than you do at home. You'll see that we've spent a lot of money on the cafeteria to make it fancy because we wanted the employees to have a place to really enjoy themselves. This whole place should be fun, and the employees should be enjoying their lives here. You know, it shouldn't be a place where we come just to dredge. You know, it shouldn't be a slave factory. It should be fun and still get a lot done. You know, I mean, the nice part of it is I think you can go out and talk to anybody here. They'll all say that it's all cooperation that makes this company.